Welcome to Colorado Homes and Lifestyles, where style comes home. This recording is brought to you by Aftersight, and it is intended to be used solely by individuals who are blind or have low vision.
Thank you for joining us for the March-April 2022 The Mountain issue of Colorado Homes and Lifestyles. My name is Jerry Gingras. Style Star Rising. In her new book, designer Andrea Monath Schumacher reveals how to live your best life in every room of the house. Story by Catherine O'Shea Evans. Andrea Monath Schumacher knows how to live large, so well, in fact, that the phrase became the subtitle of her first monograph, Vibrant Interiors, Living Large at Home. Based out of Denver and Santa Barbara, the itinerant designer travels the world for inspiration and often incorporates international finds into her projects, along with plenty of well-curated art pieces. Her eye for art is practically a family heirloom. Elizabeth Monath, her grandmother, was an understudy of Salvador Dali in 1930s Paris. Growing up around her art gave me a sense of color and combining colors and patterns, says Schumacher. She taught me all about color theory and being brave. We chatted with the designer about everything from her favorite places to shop in Colorado to which countries make her decorator our heart go pitter-pat. Did you know you'd become a decorator even as a child? My mom said that she always knew. I was always rearranging my room. I remember pulling my bed into my closet and creating this little alcove, just taking the doors off and painting it inside and pulling the bed in there. I had a coral orange room for a long time. Later, I went to school for fashion merchandising, and I met a person who was doing a design program, and he got me all excited about it. And so I took a class and fell in love and changed my major. What's your favorite place to travel for inspiration? Probably Japan or Morocco. I love all the lighting and saturated colors in Morocco, and the rugs are amazing. But I also love the way they put things together, too. And then in Japan, I think it's the serenity of their interiors and the innovative ways the Japanese design things. What's your favorite source in Denver for fun accessories and antiques? I go to Decor Asian. They have little vignettes of different colors in Denver. Somebody might shop in Paris and bring stuff back from there, and then they have Scandinavian things. It's awesome. It was just an Asian store once, and then they changed their concept to letting antique dealers do little vignettes. You need to go. It's really good. What are you always on the hunt for? Antique doors that I can incorporate or Rajasthani arches or columns. I have the contractor build them into the walls. I love the Indian carved stuff. I think it has the most detail. How does Colorado influence your interiors when your projects are here? Any region affects some of your choices, right? I mean, if you're in Palm Beach, you can go with lighter linens and pinks and greens. Here, we often select warmer textiles and heavier materials, like wools. But you don't ever go all Colorado with big stones and river rocks. That's too literal for me. This is really a tough question. What's your favorite paint color? Well, my basic white is Benjamin Morin's OC 45 Swiss Coffee. It's chameleon white, so if you accidentally put something ivory up against it or cream-colored, it will chameleon into looking good with it. You don't have to worry about getting the tone of your white correct. Do you have any design pet peeves? Forgetting the ceiling is one of them, using gray on gray on gray. If someone's nervous to use color, where do they begin? I would say start in a smaller room that you can manage, like a powder room. You could do just the ceiling in a room, a fun color, and see how that goes, and then go from there. We often wallpaper ceilings. If you're in a new build, you could do a coffered ceiling and then wallpaper inside that. That'd be fun. That's so pretty. How does travel inspire your interiors? Oh, it's just so endlessly inspiring. Not only do you see different products that you don't see in the U.S., but you also see the way they put things together. I love infusing an ethnic vibe into a room where you're blending things from all over, so it's not just, say, a Moroccan-themed space. Do you have any decorating rules to share? Obviously, scale is important, and getting it right is really important, but I think it has to do with the room itself. So it depends on the height of your ceiling and the size of your sofa. That would dictate the size of your side tables and your coffee table. Play with your scale before you buy, and make sure your furniture purchases are scaled correctly in your room, because it's a pet peeve when it's out of whack. What are your design trademarks as a designer? People come to us for interior architectural help because I have that background, and I think a lot of people know that about me. I get hired a lot when they're in the beginning stages of building because I have an eye for making sure that the architect doesn't forget where the towel bars are going or where the robe hook should be, and what walls are blocking your view or straightening something out so it's more symmetrical. Nice. That's important. And people come to me for pattern play and color. I know how to use color. I'll say, if you could have dinner with two designers living or dead, who would they be? Dorothy Draper and Albert Hadley. They're iconic. Why is it important that people create a home that lives large? I think the pandemic showed us that. Life's too short to live in a bland house. Fresh style, modern love. Kyle Webb shares his love of mountain modern architecture. Kyle Webb first came to the Vail Valley on a family vacation in 1977, and even at 10 years of age, he was enchanted by the beauty of the area and imagined a life there. Around that same time, he was also already drawing houses. Years later, degrees in hand, he returned, and during a stint working for Jim Mortar at Mortar Architects, he discovered his true architectural calling. Jim was the only one doing anything contemporary, recalls Webb, and when I had the chance to do cleaner, more modern architecture, I knew that was really my love. Since founding K.H. Webb Architects in 1999, Webb and his team have completed more than 100 projects in Vail, many in his signature mountain modern style, and have left an indelible imprint on the community. We asked Webb to share his unique perspective on designing and building in the popular resort town. What are some of the changes you've observed in everything from architectural style to building materials? When I first came here, everything was traditional Bavarian, and the materials palette was pretty much spruce, cedar, and some stone veneer. Anything modern was taboo, and now it's what everybody wants. As for materials, thanks to technology, we can now treat all kinds of wood so that it can last far longer in this harsh environment, and advances in window technology allow for 60-foot wide sliding doors that are energy efficient. We use tons of steel and metal in every project, as well as old standbys like copper. But unlike 30 years ago, we can cut things with lasers and make patterns and create unique, artful designs. What distinguishes mountain architecture? Mountain architecture is of the site and about getting something to belong where it is. Homes work best when they are designed to work with the natural land features, and we pay attention to the shape and character of the land and the location of features like mountains, water, trees, and sun. What are the challenges and advantages of building in the Vail Valley? The challenges are the same as everywhere in the high-end residential world. There aren't enough components available or enough people for construction, and it can be exhausting and very expensive to build. On the plus side, square footage is a commodity here, and if you do everything right, you will get your money back. There are still so many amazing building opportunities, and the happiness that accompanies the end results makes it all worthwhile. This story was written by Mindy Pantiel. Fresh Style, Style Maker, Amy and Joe Cavell. Parents of two teens and owners-buyers of Cherry Creek retail icon Lawrence Cavell share their favorite things. 1. Colorado artist. Joe, we're not really collectors, but a friend of mine, Jeff Shamus, director of the Vicki Myron Gallery at University of Denver, recently introduced me to Ian Fisher's paintings. I love his work and hope to have one of his pieces in our home one day. My parents, Lawrence and Kathy Cavell, have a still life by Kwang Ho, which is also beautiful. 2. Furniture design. Joe, we've never used an interior designer for our store or home, but when we eventually do, we'll go with John Brooks in the Denver Design District. Owners Art and Marv and store manager Ben are longtime friends, and they are beyond talented. John Brooks, 601 South Broadway, Suite L, Denver, johnbrooksinc.com. 3. Retail store, Amy and Joe. We love shopping at locally owned businesses such as Homebody, Show of Hands, and Bloom. Homebody owner Dory Pratt has a great eye and curated home goods that you don't see everywhere else. Homebody, 2920 East 6th Avenue, Denver. HomebodyDenver.com. 4. Housewarming gift. Amy, Aesop Geranium Leaf Body Cleanser Hand Wash and Hand Balm Set. It's an easy gift that everyone likes and appreciates. Aesop scents are unusual and long-lasting. Available at Aesop, Cherry Creek Mall, Denver, aesop.com. 5. Skincare, Amy. I use IS Clinical, which I get next door from Vital. 2 of the products I use religiously are the IS Clinical Extreme Product SPF 30 and IS Clinical Moisturizing Complex. They are both lightweight and feel great on my face. Vital Medical Aesthetics, 251 Steel Street, number 100, Denver, vital.com. 6. Watch, Joe. I have a Parmigiani that my dad got for me for my 30th birthday from Oster Jewelers. Owner Jeremy Oster is also a huge Stones fan, so we get along well. Oster Jewelers, 251 Steel Street, number 101, Denver. OsterJewelers.com. 7. Shoes, Joe. For casual wear, I wear Common Projects, mainly their track shoe. It's a retro running shoe, and I have it in a few colors. I also like Harry's of London slip-ons in the summer, mainly without socks. Amy, I love my Brunello boots for winter and leather platform flip-flops from the Row for summer. 8. Restaurants, Amy and Joe. We love everything about Satchel's on 6th. Andrew, the owner, and JP, Jean-Paul, his longtime manager, make an incredible burger, and their gazpacho in the summer is fabulous. At Table 6, we always order the duck confit, but you can never go wrong with the tater tots. Potager will always be one of our favorites. Eating by the garden in the summer or at the bar in winter brings back so many good memories. And lastly, Barolo Grill. Ryan Fetter runs one of the best restaurants in Denver. Everything is sublime. Clothing designer, Amy. For dressing, I like Dries Van Noten because it's timeless, interesting, and unique. For casual, I wear Nell Loten and The Row. Both are easy and effortless. Joe. For dress, I wear Luciano Barbera, Caruso, or Elevanti. These brands can all be worn more casually, but for jackets, suits, and formal wear, they are whom I gravitate toward. For casual, I like Dries Van Noten, Officine Générale, The Row, and Acne Studios. They each have a cool aesthetic, and I buy them and wear them in a more minimalist manner. Fresh Style Trade Secrets. The designers at Stellhouse and Gnome offer their take on Mountain Modern. Story by Alicita Rodriguez. 6 tips for stylish mountain design. Designers Sarah Tiedekin and Gina Silveri of Stellhouse and Home in Steamboat Springs, Colorado, know high-altitude style. But what exactly is the secret of mountain design? Layers. Just like the beautiful vistas of the Mountain West, which meld sky, peaks, trees, and valleys, mountain style layers materials. The right mix should create comfort, according to Silveri. It should feel like you're at home, relaxed, and in your happy place. It's almost like feeling you're on vacation. Stell House and Home offers these tips for creating your peak bliss. Number 1, design the space using your personality. Good designers should listen to what you like and pull those things together for you. Mountain design depends on the client. You want to end up with a style that is unique to them, Silveri says. It should be a delicate balance of keeping it personalized while trying to add mountainy elements, Tiedemann explains. Number 2, blend textures and choose organic materials. We use a lot of texture, Tiedemann says. Add pieces that incorporate contrasting materials, including leather, wood, forged iron, knotty cable nets, faux fur, animal hides, and wool. Wool became a mountain thing because people milled their own wool. It has a rustic, mountainy aesthetic. Number 3, choose hardy materials and finishes. When people come in from hiking and skiing, they track in mud and snow. Materials and finishes in mountain homes need to be tough. We need to use performance fabrics, Tiedemann says. She also recommends engineered wood floors and hardwoods such as oak and hickory. I tend to steer clients to wool area rugs because they're easier to clean and they last forever, Silveri adds. Number 4, add pops of color. A little color can go a long way in adding personality, says Silveri. Little moments of being bold can make the space. She recommends opting for neutral colors for the main furniture and surfaces, then injecting color through secondary pieces like table lamps, pillows, throws, and accent chairs. Number 5, incorporate a variety of styles. Try not to commit yourself to one style, Tiedemann says. Keeping to one style can easily date the home. Instead, layer different styles and materials. The floor doesn't have to match the trim and doors. We go into houses where everything is the same. It doesn't have any depth or layering, and that makes it feel it's from a specific era. Number 6, create comfortable, usable spaces. Don't spend a lot of money on a white couch if you're going to worry every time you drink red wine. You don't want to feel like you're living in your own gallery, Tiedemann says. We're always trying to create spaces people just want to be in. Hall of Excellence, CH&L's 2022 celebration of Colorado's outstanding design leaders. Story by Risha Mitchell. Colorado Homes and Lifestyles created the Circle of Excellence to acknowledge the talented community who continue to raise the bar on innovative design in Colorado. This year, we are creating our first ever Hall of Excellence as a tribute to these individuals who were awarded a Circle of Excellence award during the past 5 years. The idea for this tribute came when we realized how many stories these design leaders have contributed to in the pages of Colorado Homes and Lifestyles, says Assistant Editor Risha Mitchell, who spearheaded the list. We think this section will be a service to our readers to see the breadth of talent in Colorado. The list has been organized by location and then by profession: architects, interior designers, kitchen designers, and landscape architects. In addition, we've included a list of CH&L stories in which their work appeared from 2017 through the January-February 2022 issues. Readers will find these stories available at coloradohomesmag.com. Hall of Excellence. Reaching new heights. Above Aspen, an art-filled home offers seclusion, serenity, and wraparound mountain views. Story by Suzanne S. Brown. When it was time to add interior decor elements into this well-designed mountain home situated on 20-plus acres high above Aspen, Sean Henderson knew he had needed a thoughtful approach. Not only is the modern home by Scott Lindenau of Studio B Architecture and Interiors impeccably conceived, the homeowners own an impressive collection of fine art and furniture. When describing what the Hong Kong-based couple wanted for their vacation retreat, architect Lindenau recalls, "The clients were very interested in the spirit of wood. That resonated with him. We define our work as calculated and restrained," he says. "We strive to minimize our material palette with it being quite and simple." Lindenau chose chiseled limestone, granite, sustainably harvested teak, and true Japanese plaster for the exterior, and used teak wall veneer inside for walls and the entry staircase. He used wire-brushed white oak planking for the floors. To further customize the interior, Lindenau flew in a team of U.S.-based craftspersons who had been trained in Japan to plaster interior walls in a technique called wara-juraku, which incorporates straw for a textural effect. Those elements also appeal to Henderson, who says that he is inspired by how his clients want to live and tries not to compete with the views afforded by spectacular mountain properties. "The hallmarks of my interiors are that they are warm, thoughtful, and comfortable," says the New York-based designer who launched his firm in 2003. His first monograph, Sean Henderson, Interiors in Context, was recently published by Monticelli Press and includes this modern Aspen home. "All the architecture was done beautifully," Henderson says. "Sleek, lacquered kitchen cabinetry and custom built-ins, like the platform bed and nightstands in the primary bedroom, executed by Colorado Custom Millwork in Glenwood Springs, underscore the home's modern design. The owners were able to use much of their modern art and mid-century Danish furniture in the rooms, but given the home's size of 9,000 square feet and the generous proportion of the living spaces, additional furnishings were needed," Henderson says. "The house is rectilinear, and much of the existing furniture has curvy geometric mid-century modern appeal, which provided the perfect counterpoint. Working off of these forms is what helped inform my choices," the designer says. "To me, the biggest challenge was coming up with an appropriate layout that made the house feel really comfortable and using a combination of textures that felt balanced. A gallery-like entry lends a strong first impression. It creates a moment with the amazing Antony Gormley sculpture the couple has," Henderson says. A bright yellow stool from Warren Plattner is an artsy spot for removing boots, as is the stone and blackened bronze bench by Eric Slayton. Book-matched teak veneer walls and a teak staircase lead up to the large main living room, which has walls of glass on two sides that capture snow-capped vistas of the Elk Mountains. To create a sense of intimacy in one big room, Henderson divided it into two. One is centered on the fireplace, and one is about experiencing the view, a place to sit and meditate. Henderson loves chairs of all kinds, but is particularly fond of a classic original on display in the living room, a sheepskin-clad tired man chair originally designed by Fleming Lassen in 1935, sits next to a Hans Wegner peacock chair. In addition, a pair of charcoal gray upholstered armchairs and a mid-century modern custom sofa surround a custom coffee table that is 7 feet in diameter. On the other side of the room, a bright blue curved sofa from Vladimir Kagan faces a pair of Wegner's wingback Papa Bear chairs, another of Henderson's favorite seating options. Separating the seating areas is a 1970s-era vintage carved wood table. What I tried to do was mix in natural and organic materials and match the architectural finishes, the designer says. I don't want any of my interiors to feel too decorated. I want them to be balanced and serene. Another element uniting the room is a custom rug composed of multiple textures and layers. In a modern home with walls of glass, it's super important to make it feel warm by using soft, comfortable materials, Henderson says. The residence offers multiple spots for tranquility and reflection, including a meditation room with a fireplace, a cypress wood-soaking tub in the primary bathroom, and a rooftop deck with wraparound views of the mountains and the Castle Creek Valley. There is a sense of appropriateness to everything that is in the home, Henderson says. The design doesn't feel precious, even when rare or one-of-a-kind pieces of furniture are on display. Rooms can be very beautiful and yet livable and comfortable. Thank you for joining us for the Colorado Homes and Lifestyles March-April 2022, The Mountain Issue Edition. My name is Jerry Gingras.
You've been listening to Colorado Homes and Lifestyles, where style comes home. If you enjoyed this program, please register for our free services at www.aftersight.org or by calling 303-786-7777.